Hello and welcome to ID Redacted. Today we're going to have a look at a bit more of the fallout from Lauren's live. Anyway, so we're going to have a look at. I'll add it to the stage, web sleuths, and we'll have to see what they have to say about Lauren.
Hey everyone, welcome to websleuths YouTube Live. My name is Trisha Griffith, and I am just this happy little camper. Why? Well, because I got Awesome Text Bug Nugget the first, the cutest dog ever, right here, and the most obnoxious. I also have Scrappy Joe. You can't see him; he's down here asleep. But I get to manage this great site called websleuths.com. It is the best true crime discussion site ever. Check it out, Scrappy. Offie, really.
And so we're just doing this as part of fair use. And this is Trish. She was at the crime con with Megan, Joe, and Lauren.
I'm sorry, you guys. Now, normally, a professional woman in a professional setting would take the squeaky toy away from their dog, but I can't because they rule my life. And no, this isn't a Shih Tzu here, or Shih Tzu. It's a pillow. Just kind of looks like a big fluffy dog. Okay, if I'm a little loopy, it's because, like most of you, I didn't get any sleep last night, but it was for an amazing reason. Lauren Matthias earlier yesterday afternoon said, hey, can you help moderate the chat? I'm going to go public with what's been going on, and I knew what that meant. And I said, of course, I would be honored to help you moderate your chat, Lauren Matthias from Hidden True Crime. And then she was going early enough that I was.
And that's all good and well. And just make a note of the new sign she's got behind her. And also, yes, wonder when she got that.
Going to be able to do this live stream here. We go at 10:30 Eastern. And so I told Stacy, I said, Stacy, hang on, we're gonna do it. And then YouTube crashed. How often does that happen? And it was actually quite a while. Well, finally, eventually, Laura Matthias came on and told her story. And we're going to get into it and talk about it. I know you all have a lot to talk about because it was incredible. And I'll tell you what, the chat, Lauren had 11,000 people in her chat last night. I'm not making that up. I'm not being facetious. And there were some trolls, and so somebody would say something,
Okay, yes, there were some trolls. Okay. Maybe people weren't believing her, but okay, we're trolls.
Stupid and troll-ish. And I'd be like, and before I could even press the button, boom, it was gone. So I don't know how much help I was, but I think I accidentally timed out 300 or 400 people. I'm not sure.
Oh,
but yeah, there were some trolls there. There were some people saying some pretty awful things, but 99.9% of the 11,000 people were wonderful. And by the time it was over, 9 hours later, it was over 8,000 in chat. That's how compelling Laura Matthias' story is.
So they lost.
We're going to go over it.
3,000.
Not going to do any deep dive or anything because Lauren put it all out there for you people. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about, what I know, and it's nothing major, but I'm so proud of her for doing this. This was a tough decision. Real quick, she had a temporary restraining order against somebody because this person she felt was stalking her, and
we've heard
she got the restraining order at CrimeCon, and this person showed up even though she knew there was a restraining order against her, and she went to places where Lauren was. And
no, see, that's not right. She wasn't served the restraining order before she left for CrimeCon. So
the restraining order was really clear. You can't. If you're in this hotel, you can't be where Lauren is. That's just a restraining order.
No.
Well,
no, you can be in the hotel. If you're not going to tell the truth, there's no point in putting the story out there.
I don't know if she didn't pay attention or what. To me, it looked like she broke the restraining order 3 or 4 times, but nothing was ever done. Anyway, that was temporary. Lauren was trying to get.
Oh my God. She was escorted out of the crime con. But okay, nothing was never done.
Permanent. And permanent means 3 years, and then you have to go back every 3 years to do it again. For some reason, and I don't know why, I think we might find out, but Law and Crime petitioned the court to have a camera there.
Law and Crime? Not Law and Crime. Why wouldn't you? She's a limited public figure. She makes her money off going to courtrooms and filming other people's tragedies. I know she's a reporter.
Now, this didn't have to do with a case. It wasn't like Sebastian Rogers, where they were following a YouTuber and there were restraining orders in that case where Sebastian's mom and stepdad was trying to get a restraining order against a particular YouTuber. But that had to do with Sebastian Rogers. This was all very personal. There was no true crime case in this.
So wasn't Sebastian case personal as well? You people, and I'm so glad, and I so hope the stalker takes you all on in the court
situation. What surprises me, and maybe I'm just naive, was that a media outlet would want to do this, because when you go in and to get a restraining order, you have to give them your address. Now I guess they could have turned off the mic when they were talking about where Lauren lived, or she was talking about her son, and black out all the documents. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think they just want to go in there and film, and I don't understand why.
Because it's a story.
Was the compelling part of this story that would work on Law and Crime?
No.
Other than Lauren is well-known, I call her famous. She would never call herself famous, but I would. She's famous, especially in the true crime genre.
No.
But I don't know what compelling reason Law and Crime would have to go to that court and cover that case.
Why not? It's news.
Because the whole point of getting a restraining order is to make sure that somebody doesn't bother you and doesn't harass you. But if the court case where the restraining order, where all the evidence is being shown in the restraining order and the person's address is there and all of the personal information, kind of defeats the purpose because it's going out all over the world. I don't get it. Now,
you do get it. What your problem is that Christine hadn't replied to Lauren's allegations yet. So get off your high horse and go and clean your sign.
I'm trying to think. Let's just take, for some reason, Alec Baldwin popped into my mind. If he was trying to get a restraining order from a YouTuber or a TikToker, I would assume that media outlets would petition the court to have cameras there. I would assume they would say no, because the point of a restraining order, like I said, is to stop.
And you would be wrong. Sorry, Trish.
People from harassing you. And if you've ever dealt with a restraining order, you have to give them all of your information. Okay? It's all there for the court to see. And it's one thing if you can find these restraining orders online. But it's another thing if you're broadcasting it and turning it into a big deal. And maybe it was because Lauren is famous in the true crime world that they wanted a camera in the courtroom. But like I said, with the Sebastian Rogers case and that particular YouTuber and Sebastian's stepfather and mother, they did broadcast that. But I just felt that that was different. This was very personal. This was a very odd, strange thing that Lauren was going through. It was just, it is crazy. It was crazy. It's driving me nuts. Why would Law and Crime think that this was a big enough story to cover? I guess that's what I'm thinking. But I was very proud of Lauren when, the judge said, sure, bring your cameras in. And Lauren said, forget it. No, I'm not going to do that. Not going to risk my family's safety by having my address and location and all of my personal information broadcast all over the place. I'm not going to do it.
That was the excuse she has given everyone, but the judge quite clearly said what he thought she was trying to do in going after the order. Oh, you people, liars, fat pants on fires.
And so she did what I thought was a very brave thing. Lauren Matthias took her power back, and she told her story, and she told the truth. She brought receipts. Again,
no,
I'm not going to go into all of the details because it was a 9-hour live stream, but she brought receipts. She showed what happened to her. We don't know why yet. I don't think we'll ever know. But in general, real quick, 2 things happened that, and there's more to it than this, but we're just going to kind of tell you about this part. One, people that Lauren was she was working with down in Arizona when Lori Daybell was on trial, people that she was friendly with, colleagues, stopped talking to her. She's like, what the hell?
Oh my God.
And I was talking to her during this time, and she was just baffled. She was devastated.
Oh no.
Found out that somebody that used to work for her was releasing her private text messages, emails, a combination of both. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, that's terrible. Poor Lauren. Oh, I hope that person is not saying bad things about Lauren or what the messages Lauren's been sending aren't bad. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to get better at this. Oh. Anyway, carry on, Trish.
A lot of these messages were getting out, and they were private. They were very private. And she said some things in frustration about people, and it got back to them. Also, there was a lie going around that Lauren mistreated victims, and people started to believe it. It's horrible. I have had almost the exact same thing happen.
We've seen
when my former business partner filed a lawsuit to try and take websleuths.com away from me. She convinced the moderators that I was stealing money and that I was harassing members of Websleuths for money. And I went on websleuths.com one day, and the moderator said, Trisha, we know you know what you're doing. We despise you. We hate you. And we're done with you. Literally out of the blue. It was out of the blue. Long story. I ended up with Websleuths. I ended up showing everything that they were accusing me of was not true. It's a long story, long ago. There used to be a website up, and it was supposed to be for missing kids, but they would go there and post my crimes, and they would let anybody post anything, and people were just making all this crap up about me. It was crazy, and I knew how Lauren felt to all of a sudden wake up one day and literally have everybody against you, and you don't know why.
Yeah, well, I want to go into that. It
almost killed her. It really did. People that she loved and respected and had worked with were just not talking to her. And then people were accusing her of being cruel to victims out of the blue. And I don't know how
we've heard the victims speak.
All started. It appears.
Kay Woodlock 4-1.
There was a contractor that Lauren had hired to do some work, and she had said, okay, we don't want you to do anymore. Thank you very much. Lauren had called her annoying in one of these released, I can't remember if it was text or emails, that these private messages that were being released by somebody that used to work with her for whatever reason, I don't know. And that's what started it all, apparently. Annoying. That's what she called somebody. Hell, I'm annoying 5 seconds after I wake up. People call me annoying all the time. Awesome text Bug Nugget the first right here. He's trying to tell me in dog language I'm annoying. I don't get upset. I don't make sick, twisted TikToks about people. You know, I don't call other people and gather everybody around and start tearing someone's life apart like they did to her. I can't even tell you the pain that was in her voice when I'd be talking to her. Her and Grayson, her producer, both of them. They were just absolutely beyond devastated at what was going on. That is a very bare bones outline of this whole thing. I want to bring up the one and only, the insightful one. Stacy, how you doing, darling? Stacy, are you there?
I'm doing great. Thought you forgot about me.
No. Oh, no. Well, I was babbling. I didn't forget about you. I just didn't realize how long I was babbling. So, now, did you get a chance to watch any of Lauren's live stream last night?
Yes, I watched part of it. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole 9 hours. No. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm telling you, people should watch it because it is.
Yeah.
She brings home these receipts, people. She really, really does. And let me just see what people are saying in chat here.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch the whole thing. I have to do it in increments.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's hard to have 9 full hours, but last night, you know, when I said I would moderate for her, I was happy to do it, and I kept putting off our live stream. I kept saying, okay, guys, I think we're going to go at 1 a.m. No, I think we're going to go at 2 a.m. Finally, like at 4:30, I just went, I can't. And then she ended around 5 my time. So I made it almost all the way through, but I didn't do our live stream last night. So, but again, I am so proud of her for putting out there what happened and bringing the receipts to show what was going on. It must have been really hard for her to do.
All right.
Now,
all right, I'm going to skip forward to when Megan and Joe want to add their to Bob. Here we go. This is Megan Connor, who is what she call herself?
Statement. Why this person? It's one thing to criticize. You can criticize somebody's work all you want. You have a right to.
Cousin.
But what they did was try and destroy her. And that's what's got to stop, for God's sakes. You know, that is unfair and wrong. Megan, what are your thoughts on this? Everybody, Megan Connor, her dumb cousin is Lori Daybell, and that's what she calls her now. I love that. I love that handle. Her dumb cousin, my dumb cousin. And by the way, a dumb cousin has another hearing on Monday, right?
Yes, I heard that. It was the lowest effort name that I could come up with.
It was great. It fits beautifully. But anyway, what are your thoughts, Megan?
First of all, I apologize. I'm not feeling well. I've been sick for today and yesterday, and I got no sleep because I was watching 9 hours of YouTube last night.
Exactly.
But yeah, it actually came at a good time because I wasn't sleeping anyway. So I was like, well, I'm going to stay here for this whole thing and be here for Lauren. Yeah. So what do I make of it? I think it's disgusting. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, that at a sentencing and a trial for their family members, that members of the Vallow and Daybell families were confronted and accosted by these women trying to pull them into this behind the scenes drama. It's literally the last thing that anybody going through that should ever have to deal with. That's the main thing that I'm sick about for this. And I've been pretty.
It was Lauren dragging them into everything. Yeah. You are the dumb cousin, aren't you?
To this the entire time Lauren and Grayson have been going through it. I don't know all the details, but I do know a lot of it, and I was there in person for a lot of it. And
that's right. You were there, right?
Yeah, I was at the trials. I was at CrimeCon. I wasn't there at Delphi, so I wasn't, there for all of that stuff. But but I witnessed a lot of these incidents where, Lauren and Grayson would be there working, and then all of a sudden they're off on phone calls, and dealing with all of this BS, talking to bailiffs, talking to officers. It's like they couldn't get any work done.
Right.
And, these women were just.
Yeah, because they're putting out stalking orders on people.
Engaging this stupid middle school mean girl behavior. It's ridiculous.
Okay. So this is interesting. So they actually were trying to bring in the families that were down there for this trial. They were trying to bring them in and get them to believe that Lauren was this terrible, horrible person that they needed to shut out, right?
Yep.
Why? God almighty, somebody explain this to me. You know?
It's not something that
maybe because Lauren was putting out horrible things about people, in particular the victims.
really rational people can really understand on a real level. Like we can get an explanation for it and go, okay, well, I guess not something I would ever do.
Right.
But it really, the very simple, stupid answer is that they're jealous of Lauren. They're jealous of the growth that Lauren is experiencing, the fact that she's got her own full-time producer and that she's, her channel is doing really well.
Doing great, sure.
People like her. And she and John, Dr. John, have the perfect team for this genre of reporting.
Absolutely.
And they are going to absolutely continue to grow and be successful because they're both professional, they're both smart. It's just that it's destined to do well. And some people see that kind of success and know that they'll never have it and can't stand it when someone else does. And
no. And again, anyone who wishes ill of anyone else, success or otherwise, deserve everything they get.
that's just the bottom line. And there are women out there who can't stand it when other women are successful, which is
So
sad.
stupid. Yeah.
But if you come from a family system where your own mother didn't support you and competed with you and shamed you and tried to tear you down, you're probably going to do that to other women in your life unless you heal those wounds.
Exactly. And there's a great point, Megan. Let's bring it home. These people have deep wounds for some reason. For some reason, they felt that this was not only something they wanted to do, but it was the right thing to do. To take Lauren, who's down there, Lauren and Grayson, just trying to do their jobs, who are helpful to other people, and they help other creators, and they're always polite and kind and gracious, and they're so kind to
other creators. Gigi from Pretty Lies and Advice put out a statement about what Lauren was doing behind her back. You want to talk about support other creators?
victims and so helpful. They thought this was the right thing to do, to take these victims' families who are down there focusing on something completely different and trash Lauren and Grayson to these people.
With the express purpose, and the only reason they did that was to get these family members on their side, in their camp, hanging out with them instead of hanging out with Lauren. It's just ridiculous.
It is so stupid. Again, like I said, you were down there, you witnessed it. I was talking to Lauren. I wasn't talking to her every day, but I talked to her and Grayson quite a bit, and I knew the effect it was having on them, but I didn't know all the details. Somebody asked me if the TikToker is still making videos on TikTok. I don't know. I haven't checked today.
The last I looked, I think the latest one was 2 weeks ago. I could be wrong about that, though.
It could be. And I know Lori Hellis took down her video that she did last, the video about crime. I think it was the one about CrimeCon and the restraining order. It was one she had last week, I think. That's gone. That's gone. And again, like you said, Stacey, that's a great point. Lauren's being accused of having the police do her dirty work. No. The police were doing exactly what they were supposed to do because this person had a restraining order against them and they were hanging out. In fact, Miss Woozy, who was there with us at CrimeCon, says, I watched the stalker try to schmooze the officer at the bar when they asked her to leave for over an hour, just completely acting like it was hilarious and a big joke. Exactly. I
really wish they would have just arrested her right there, because when you don't hold somebody accountable, it emboldens them to continue to go forward and do the same.
Oh, that's big words, Megan. Oh, I hope to see you on the lawsuit.
Garbage that they're already doing.
And that's what I don't understand, why she wasn't brought before the judge, because it wasn't like that. Just
because Lauren didn't advise Christine that she was getting a court order against her. You, and you
happened once. It happened a bunch of times at CrimeCon. You know?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that wasn't the only time. I can't speak to exactly how many times it happened. I know it happened at least twice. One was the first time that they confronted her, and the other time was in the bar. I don't know about more than that. But I also understand how it can get complicated for the Colorado Police Department, because initially we talked to hotel security. They said they can't do anything. It's up to the police. So then when police were called and they did come, well, it's a Utah restraining order. Can they really put her in jail for that?
Good point.
They could arrest her and, take her off the premises. But I don't know. I'm not going to second guess law enforcement because that's not my area.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. But you're doing it, Megan.
And I'm not talking about the police. I'm talking about the judge. Why, when the judge heard about it, why he didn't bring her in and, say, what the hell? This is a restraining order, and you ignored it in these areas. And that's what I don't understand. Why, after CrimeCon, she wasn't brought to task? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
So now Joe.
Because the hearing hadn't occurred. This is what all these dramas are going. Because Lauren turned up to the hearing where Christine and her lawyer were prepared to argue, and then Lauren withdrew it. Blaming law and crime.
Schmo, let's see, hold on. Okay. Joe Schmo, you were there. Do you want to come on and talk about anything? You're welcome to come on if you want. And to talk about this if you'd like. But again, it was absolutely unbelievable what she went through. And I had no idea just how bad it really was. Somebody called Dr. John's place of employment and started, checking up on him. And my God.
That was the stalker that did that.
I wasn't sure who it was. Why? What right did she have to do that?
Well, I mean,
there's nothing.
So any one of us could call anybody's place of employment and try to get information on them. The employment place actually isn't supposed to give out that information,
right?
Because it's confidential. In fact, even when they do a job reference check for you, all that HR is legally allowed to say, at least in the state of Texas, I don't know about other states, but all they're legally allowed to say is, yes, the person worked here from this date to this date. In many cases, they're not even allowed to give out salary information,
right,
or anything else. So or it could violate employment law. So yeah, any one of us could call up any university and try to check on any professor's credentials or whatever. But the point is, the only reason she did that is because she was trying to dig up dirt on somebody. And by the way, can we just say that she's incredibly stupid to not know that PhD stands for Doctor of Philosophy, and she wants to try to shame Dr. John for having a doctorate in philosophy? No, honey, that's not how that works.
Can you explain that? When Lauren was explaining that last night, I stopped moderating, and I'm sure a bunch of trolls got it because I was stunned. What was it she didn't understand? Can you explain it? Because I was just baffled.
Okay, so let's say that you go to get a doctorate in biology. Your degree is going to say PhD biology,
right?
Doctor of Philosophy in biology. Now, it's different when you're a medical doctor. That's an MD, medical doctor, right?
Medical doctor,
but
right.
Almost every academic field, you're going to get a PhD, which is a Doctor of Philosophy, and then your concentration. So if I were to go get a doctorate in music, I would be a PhD of musicology or a PhD of music theory, a Doctor of Philosophy in music. That's what she didn't get. PhD stands for Doctor of Philosophy.
Philosophy, right? And she didn't. What did she think it stood for? Did she?
She thought his doctorate was in philosophy rather than having a PhD in psychology.
Oh my God! Yeah. Well, you know what? She was. Something today's old when she finally learned that.
Yeah.
And so she went. Yeah. And she went on there when Lauren was explaining that. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that somebody would go on and say that about him. Trying to make him look bad, like he really didn't have the proper degree. Because she didn't understand what PhD stood for, Wow. Yeah, I was just stunned. I thought,
fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use.
I mean, if you're going to troll that hard, then do your homework, honey.
Exactly. Learn what you're doing.
That part. Sorry.
Say again.
I said I missed that part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's when I stopped. I was just really. I had my hand on my my mouse here because I'm timing people out right and left, And I just stopped and I went, I can't. What did I just
I
hear?
might have
And Mark,
woken my children and my dogs because I literally yelled, "Are you effing kidding me?"
are you serious? I love
Wow.
that.
Except I said the real words
You said the real, I won't force you
in
to
the
say
middle
it.
of the night.
Yes. Oh, God. Well, and I want to read what Jean P. says here. She says, I think people ganged up against Lauren, starting with the Delphi case, because she agreed Richard Allen was guilty of the crime. And that could be. That could be that a lot of people feel very strongly about that case. And yeah, she was, thought that the prosecution did a good job. Hey, a lot of people.
So let's say that you do have, let's say you have an enemy out there, somebody who you fundamentally disagree with. You think they're the most terrible person on the planet.
Right.
But they haven't done anything illegal. So
Right.
get together with your disgusting 7 gatherers and have a monthly We Hate Lauren club and bitch to each other all you want about how much you hate her and
Right.
leave it there. There's no need to harass her. There's no need to email her. There's no need to send text messages of her. And really all this was a defamation campaign, and it's social violence.
Good point. It is social violence. Absolutely. And one thing, and I am trying to get this across to everybody. I want you to listen very carefully. When you put out stuff like this, and it's going out there in the ether, in the world, you don't know who's picking up on it and decides they want to act on it.
That's right. And that's why you have to be very careful on what you say. Be nice. So show some grace. Be a little bit empathetic.
You have to be very careful. And that's, I know why Lauren was terrified, because people are saying horrible things about her, that she's doing terrible things. And then, she starts getting things sent to her anonymously. And you don't know what somebody who is unbalanced, who thinks that I'm going to do something good for the world, I'll take care of this bad person. Literally, that is what you have to watch out for when something like this happens. I want to address this. Wendy Reimers, thank you for bringing this up. Wendy says, I just want to know the truth. Curious about the claim that Lauren hijacked a copy of Lori Hellis's book and sent it to Nate Eaton. Hellis claims she has proof. Okay, well, as Lauren said last night, show me. I've heard Hellis say she has proof. I've yet to see it. And what Lauren said about that last night, and Lori Hellis has said that a lot, I've never seen proof, and neither has Lauren. But what she said about that go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was going to say, what she said about that last night was she gave the manuscript to 2 people that she worked with, 2 of her associates, and I can't remember who they were. And she said, if one of them did it, tell me. She said, but I didn't give that manuscript. I didn't send it out to people. I didn't hide. I didn't hack her computer. I didn't hide. She didn't do anything like that. Nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Lauren said she gave a copy to her fact checker.
That was it, yeah.
For her at the time, and she gave a copy to Dr. John.
Right.
And I will tell you that Lauren contacted me right when Lori's book was about to be published, because she had that advanced copy of it. And she asked me if Lori Hellis had spoken with me. And I said, no, I've never spoken with her in person. I think we've been on a panel or 2 before. But I've never met her or spoken to her in person. And Laura said, well, she quoted you in the book. Did she ask your permission? And I said, no, she didn't.
Oh, my God.
And so, Lauren said, she, I guess, asked if I wanted to know, anything about it. She said she'd be happy to tell me, but she did not offer to send me a copy of the book. She did not offer to send me a copy of the manuscript. She did not offer to even send me a screenshot of the page where I was quoted, and to even see if the quote was accurate or not. I waited until later when I saw somebody in person who had the book and saw it at that time. So if Lauren was going to be sending out copies to people, don't you think she would have sent one to me under that circumstance? If that's what she was in the habit of doing, is distributing copies of the book, she probably would have sent one to me.
She probably would have.
She probably did, Megan. She probably did.
Sent one to you first and then called you and said, hey, look at this. Did she talk to you? I mean,
such and such,
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, these people expect Lauren to behave the same way that they're behaving.
Right.
And so it's 100% that you spot it, you got it idea. So anything that these ladies are accusing Lauren of doing, you can bet that they're doing some of the same things.
And again, why not show the proof? I keep saying she has proof. Nobody has ever seen it. So what did Lori Hellis say in her book about you?
I can't remember. She quoted me on something, and I think the quote was accurate, and so I just forgot about it, because the proper thing to do would be to ask me if it's okay if I use this quote, read it to me, tell me what the context is. That would be the professional thing to do, but she did not do that. So
one little quote, Megan, about a book on your dumb cousin, although I'm not too sure which one got the brains.
that's disappointing, but whatever.
Yeah, sorry, Megan. You'd also
That's
think
okay.
that she'd want to reach out to you and say, "Hey, you have anything you want to add?" That's what I would
Yeah.
think.
Right. That's the other thing that's really interesting is that she wanted to use my quote, but she wasn't interested in anything else I had to say. So
Wow.
clearly she wanted to have all the credit for everything, I guess. I don't know.
Well, and again,
uh, mean girls.
and people, when you accuse somebody of something, make sure you have the receipts to back it up, or say, I don't have the proof, but here's what I think. This is my opinion. Okay,
Yeah.
understandable.
And
But
also
again,
maybe understand basic things like what a PhD
what a
is.
PhD is. I know that is so.
Oh, mean,
that is just,
Megan,
oh my God.
mean.
That
That
reminds
is-
me of dumb cousin Newton's law.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I forgot about that. Thanks,
Some
Stacey.
cousin what?
I'll never forget that because I still can't get over that. I'm sorry.
What was it? I missed it. What'd you say?
Go ahead, Megan. You can tell us.
When she tried to quote Newton's laws in one of her motions. It was just the dumbest thing ever.
Uh,
I gotta
Lori,
find that.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
we talked about it on the show one night. So the Newton's laws of physics, or
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
yeah,
That's right. Oh my God.
in a legal brief. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Or
That,
whatever it
that's
was.
just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hold on one sec. I just want to check in chat really quickly. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, G says, when they followed her, talking about Lauren, when they followed her into the courthouse door, she said, stop following me. I feel uncomfortable. And the person said, oh, really, Lauren? It was like a creepy, it was like a creep in a movie. Yeah, it was very
Wow.
creepy. It was very creepy. Now, I don't know if that was was that the actual TikToker that followed her in, or was it one of the friends?
Oh, it was one of the friends.
It was one of the friends, yeah. And and she showed that last night. And that was creepy. That
Yeah.
would have been scary. When you
That
tell
was
someone
terrifying.
that was what?
It was terrifying for
Yeah.
Lauren. I actually came into court right after that happened and saw Lauren there waiting to talk with one of the bailiffs.
Mhm.
And I was so worried about her because she just looked terrified. And I'm so glad that she was able to get the help that she needed at that time. But here's what's really scary to me is that Dr. John says in his statement to the court that Lauren read last night on her live that someone who is willing to to violate a stalking order is at a much higher risk of becoming physically violent.
Oh my God, that's right. He
Wow.
did. That's right. And he knows. He knows. You know.
Yeah.
He's a professional. He's got a PhD.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody says.
She's a doctor. He's a doctor of psychology, not
Yes.
philosophy.
Exactly. There you go.
Wow.
Right. GG06 says Lauren stated her lawyers are still working on the situation without it being televised. Yeah. And I don't know what she's going to do, but yeah, she's still working on it. She is. But I just, and Jeannie Marie, I think you're right. Talking about Lori Hellis said she didn't care about your viewpoint. She just wanted to name drop you in her book. And that could be. And
Probably.
again, everybody, these are just our
Yep.
opinions. So but
Name
I'm
drop.
very proud of Lauren. And you guys, her producer, Grayson, is amazing. Everybody needs a Grayson in their life.
Oh
She
man,
needs to
I
be
wish I
cloned.
had a Grayson.
I know, I need a Grayson. I mean, because she remembers everything and, you know, she's right there to take care of you and help you with anything that you need. And yeah, I need a Grayson in my life. But she was, you know, she's young go-getter. She's going to go places. She's going to go far, Grayson. And then
I don't think so because she's already trashed her wagon, hitching her star to Lauren. But we wish the best for Grayson. But
devastated her. You know, I would talk to her as well. And she was terrified because she didn't. The thing is, when it happens like this and you don't know why, you start to go crazy questioning yourself, questioning your choices, questioning the things you said, questioning what the hell do they have on me? Like in my situation, my former business partner told people, I have got this huge secret about Trisha. She doesn't want anybody to know. I know it. And I don't want to have to reveal it. But, you know, if she doesn't do what we want, I'm going to have to tell people. Well, I'm freaking out because I'm thinking, what secret? You know, what have I forgotten? There was no secret, you know?
Yeah.
But you start to question your own sanity when that happens. You really do. So I just, I don't know. I like I said, I'm very proud of her. Somebody asked if Lauren was getting any pushback from last night. She didn't say anything to me. I haven't talked to her. I just texted with her. Yeah, she seems good. She seems really good. If she got any pushback, it would be just overflowed with, you know, with all the positive it would be something really minor, and then she'd get a tidal wave of positive, because even though there were 11,000 people in her chat last night, for most of the time, considering that many people, there weren't that many trolls. There were a few, but I would have thought there would have been a lot more. And even when we slowed down the chat, when they slowed the chat down, it was going as slow as possible. It was really hard to keep up because everybody was showing their support for Lauren and telling her, how much they loved and respected her, and they understood what she was doing. And exactly. Gene P, this had a profound effect on Grayson. It's astounding. And she's a young adult, and to have something like this happen at such a young age, I'm sure it has changed her. And like Lauren said, it changed Lauren. It really changed her. And like I said, when my situation happened, it changed my DNA. It changed me. I will never forget going on websleuths.com and getting a private message from all the mods saying, Trisha, we know what you did, and you know what you did, and we're sick of it. It would be like if somebody said that to me right now, I'd be like, what the hell? What the hell are you talking about? It was all made up. I wonder, Megan, do you know what any of these women, these 7 women, what they said to any of the victims' families specifically, like what they tried to get them to believe about Lauren?
I think that they tried to get these family members to believe that Lauren wasn't really on their side, that she wasn't really, being genuine with them, and that she was just using them. And also, I think they had doctored some text messages, or they had taken some text messages out of context, or clipped some to try and show that Lauren had said mean things about them. That's
right. I forgot about that. They had taken these text messages and made them look like she was saying horrible things about them, and she wasn't. She absolutely wasn't. And again, these are private messages, and you think that they're safe with, somebody that you trust, and Lauren trusted this person who started releasing them, and that's why she called me all upset.
Why are you saying bad things about people, Lauren, if you don't want it to come out?
I told her, I said, I think it's fine that you said that. I would never, first of all, it's a private message. I would never get upset,
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have goaded her into saying the F word. She was right.
Yeah.
But she just, I felt so bad for her when she called. I'm like, please don't worry about it. Please. I said, I haven't seen the message. Nobody's contacted me. So don't even give it a second thought. But yeah,
I found her present.
You did? Oh, let's see what this is. Let's see. Let me get it here. The defendant, Daybell, hereby requests the court to grant the defendant's motion for a new trial. Thank you. There is violations to the USA. What is that?
All right, so I'll go forward to try and find where Joe Schmo came on. They finished talking about.
To all the mad chatters, and thank you. Oh, so Rachel is asking, what do you think we can do to help? To be honest with you, I think that talking about bullying like this is so important, and I think that calling people out for this type of behavior is so important.
Absolutely.
Narcissist is like a really overused word these days. So when I did my course about how to deal with people like this, I called it bully proof, because that's all they are. It doesn't matter what you diagnose them. It doesn't matter what label you put on them. They're all just bullies. And the bottom line is they're trying to take from you what they can't get from them for themselves, or what they don't know how to get for themselves. And so what these women want is they want belonging. They want recognition. They want to feel important, and they think they can't achieve that for themselves. And so they go tear down someone else.
Yep.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. And on those very wise words, Megan Connor, thank you so much for jumping up tonight. We appreciate it. And we will be in touch very soon, my dear. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Take care now.
So where did Schmo came in? Maybe he didn't Oh, well, that's a bit disappointing, because I really wanted to let her. Yeah, anyway, so that's some more of the hidden true crime drama. Again, everyone, please make up your own mind. Are we using the courts correctly? Are we treating people with respect? And how hard is it to be kind to people? So stay safe out there, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed today's little stream, and enjoy the rest of the day.